For the weighting lesson, these are the different types of anchor charts that you might want to use. They are differentiated for different levels, so figure out which ones work for you and your students. Some of them, like for example, this first one has both the combination with all the steps and some strategies. You maybe just want the steps, maybe you just want the strategies, or maybe you want it more visual for our diverse learners and young learners here. So I wanted to make a video of some of the strategies so that you know what some of them are when I put them in the list. You are more than welcome, add your own, change it, pick the ones. Maybe you just pick 3 that you teach, but I just gave you a whole bunch of different options. So the ones I want to highlight, so for example, this 4-finger tap, you can teach students that as they're waiting, they can use their hands, their bodies, their minds. They're great for mindful moments to just allow us to pause. Why not? We're waiting. Waiting allows a natural time to pause, and we should be doing that throughout the day anyway. So you can teach them to just wait by using this type of tool. They can add breathing while they're doing this. Thumb and pinky, I already recorded a mindful moment for that, so that's linked here. Finding things around them that follow the alphabet, so that one can take a little bit of time, because especially during hybrid, there might be transitions from technology, pulling something up, from transitioning from different groups. So these have options for if it's like they're waiting to have a response to a question. So those are what some of the first ideas are about writing it down and processing it. Some of them are for more of filling some space. Maybe there are some quick toolbox tips that you can add that are specific to content. So as you're doing like in math, maybe your weighting strategy, you tell students in advance, like, our weighting strategy today is going to be skip counting by 3. So anytime we're waiting today, go ahead and do skip counting by 3s. And let's say you're about ready to, that something is happening that is going to cause a longer wait time. So you might pre-prompt them and be like, okay, everybody, we're about ready to get an opportunity to wait. So go ahead and start skip counting by 3s. And if you get stuck, go ahead and start over, and I'll let you know when we're coming back from waiting. So let's see those waiting skills. Okay, so on the other side here, I linked a couple more tools, the mindful listening, which really you can teach your class to just literally listen to everything that's in their environment, being very quiet, and they can share out about that. Figure 8, they can do it in the air, they could do it on a surface. Maybe you have your own Jamboard and it's just something that's a running tab. Maybe each student has their own tab that throughout any time during class they have a thought. It's kind of like their thought space where they can just add and then share out as needed. Self-talk, and for our students, maybe our older students, where they want to work on having their body in more of a calm space of being able just to wait and not have to have a movement or not have to repeat things back, though all learners are very, very different. So you might want to give a whole bunch of options. But for our older learners, maybe you teach them that self-talk of, okay, I'm waiting, and that's okay, I'm waiting, in their mind. And the other thing on here, the student rhythm leader, like maybe that there is a technology problem and you're going to need to help a student. And so while you're helping that student, maybe you teach your class that they can have a leadership role of student rhythm leader. And so that's basically one student in your class, they can just start doing a clapping rhythm, stomping, a movement, like as Simon says, but something for students to have to pause, listen, and repeat, again, for a little bit more of an extended waiting period. And that's kind of a self-moving activity for learners. So as we're transitioning to hybrid, or even if we're still in the remote setting, this is still something that'll be helpful for you that partners along with the lesson. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and happy waiting.